What's going on? It's your boy, Lee Allen. Welcome to another show by Cosmic Brothers and Sisters. We're talking about education today, and specifically the most recent video I've seen from Donald Trump addressing the education system in this country. And he has a 10-step plan that he's looking to implement as soon as he gets in the office now. Whether you like him or you don't, to me is irrelevant at this point. Our children, our youth are struggling. You know what I'm saying? And they deserve better. The Department of Education needs to be destroyed. It needs to be just burnt down and something built on its ashes because it is failing our children. I believe they get about $60 billion a year. $60 billion. For what? What do? They just do gender studies all day? That's about it. These kids aren't learning crap. I encourage you, any middle school, let's just use 8th graders, for example. Go find 20 8th graders and ask them to write their name. Ask them to write a structured paragraph. Ask them to do long division. You're going to laugh. It's embarrassing. They are not getting a quality education in our school system, and there is no reason for it, especially when these people get this type of funding. What are we going to do if our youth can't perform at a basic academic level? We can't compete on the world stage. We are at the lowest tier when it comes to academic across this planet. The lowest. How is the most wealthy and the most technologically advanced nation on this planet? How are our children in this type of situation when we have all of these resources? It's unforgivable. So something needs to happen. So if Donald Trump is a person who's going to stand up and actually do something for our children, I'm all for it. I'm not going to sit and pick him apart. Whether you like him or you don't, it's irrelevant. We need to come together as Americans and fix the problems that we have in this country. And one of the major problems is the academics of our youth. It is an outright embarrassment for our children to be in this situation. Can't read, can't write, can't do math. What are we going to do if our children don't get something better going for them? What are we going to do as a country? We're going to fail. That's what's going to happen. So immediately get rid of the Department of Education and start having a constructive conversation with the people of this country about how we can fix it and what type of systems can be implemented to help our children out.
The state spends more money on education than any other country in the world, and yet we get the worst outcomes. We're at the bottom of every list. In total, American society pours more than $1 trillion a year into public education systems. But instead of being at the top of the list, we are literally right smack, guess what? At the bottom. Rather than indoctrinating young people with inappropriate racial, sexual, and political material, which is what we're doing now, our schools must be totally refocused to prepare our children to succeed in the world of work and in life and the world of keeping our country strong so they can grow up to be happy, prosperous, and independent citizens. We owe our children great schools that lead to great jobs and leads to an even greater country that we're living in right now. Right now, we're living in a failing nation because of Joe Biden and these people running it. They're Marxists, they're communists. What they're doing to our country is incredible, but we'll take care of that for our children. Here are 10 key ideas that will power our movement for great schools. First, we will respect the right of parents to control the education of their children. Second, we will empower parents and local school board to hire and reward great principals and teachers, and also to fire the poor ones, the one whose performance is unsatisfactory. They will be fired. Like on The Apprentice, you're fired. Third, we will ensure our classrooms are focused not on political indoctrination, but on teaching the knowledge and skills needed to succeed. Reading, writing, math, science, arithmetic, and other truly useful subjects. Fourth, we will teach students to love their country, not to hate their country like they're taught right now. Fifth, we will support bringing back prayer to our schools. Sixth, we will achieve schools that are safe, secure, and drug-free, with immediate expulsion for any student who harms a teacher or another student. Seventh, we will give all parents the right to choose another school for their children if they want. It's called school choice. Eighth, we will ensure students have access to project-based learning experiences inside the classroom to help train them for meaningful work outside the classroom. Ninth, we will strive to give all students access to internships and work experiences that can set them on a path to their first job. They're going to be very, very successful. I want them to be more successful than Trump. Let them go out and be more successful. I will be the happiest person in the world. But we want our children to have a great life and be successful. And 10th, we will ensure that all schools provide excellent jobs and career counseling so that high school and college students can get a head start on jobs and careers best suited to their God-given talents. This is how we will ensure a great education for every American child. And one other thing I'll be doing very early in the administration is closing up the Department of Education in Washington, D.C., and sending all education and education work and needs back to the states. We want them to run the education of our children because they'll do a much better job of it. You can't do worse. We spend more money per pupil by 3 times than any other nation, and yet we're absolutely at the bottom. We're one of the worst.
Makes no sense.
So you can't do worse. We're going to end education coming out of Washington, D.C. We're going to close it up, all those buildings all over the place, and you have people that in many cases hate our children. We're going to send it all back to the states. Thank you very much.
Wow. I mean, to me, that's a breath of fresh air. Whether you like him or don't, I'm not worried about him as a person. I care about his policies and what he's willing to do for this nation and our children. It's our children. They deserve the best. And so any of the infrastructure or systems that we have in place that do not serve our children need to be abolished. And something needs to be constructed that actually encourages academic excellence in our youth. Because what we have going on today is an outright joke, and it is reprehensible what has been done to our children. There's no excuse for it. We have the money, we have the resources, and our children are sitting here struggling to read. I mean, you're kidding me. We don't get our youth the necessary tools that they need to enhance their character and to strive for academic excellence. Our nation is going to fail. These Gen Alpha, these Gen Z, these kids are, oh my gosh. And they've been created that way through propaganda and manipulation, both by the institutions such as the Department of Education and the state school system and the teachers who currently teach in these schools. They are substandard, a vast majority of them, and they need to be replaced. And yeah, this is my opinion, but I think I can prove it in so many ways because the result speaks for itself. That's why we're at the bottom globally as we rank with other students and other children of this planet. There's no reason for us to be at the bottom. There's no reason. We have too much here, too many resources in this country for us to be like that. So it needs to change, and it needs to change now. So I'm all for it. Let me know what you think. What do you think about the abolishment of the Department of Education? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Put it in the comments. Let me know. That's a lot. I mean, I know a lot of people are nervous about this, but it's coming. So as soon as he's saying he's going to make this happen as soon as he gets in the office. This is going to be big. I'm talking big, really, really big. Well, that's about it for this show. I just want to talk about that a little bit. My children's education is a priority in my life, and I'm sure it is yours. So, hey, thanks for watching. I appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. You know what it is. It helps the channel grow. And I'm going to catch you at the next show.